Okay, it's 15 minutes after. We're going to go to the 15-minute chart and see if we're missing a trade right now. It looks like we're drifting sideways. The bears have come in. The early trap here, the top tick Tommy, the high of the previous day. And the scalpers have had their fun, and they cashed out at the low of the previous day. And that trade is over. That's right, people. That old trade's over. This auctioning of the high of the day, and we come down and take out the low of the day. How many fucking times have we seen this happen? You just want to put a gun to your fucking head at this point, right? Who's putting a buy stop here and a sell stop here is supposed to be considered the retail trader. But what if the retail trader does go short here and he's right and it collapses and he goes, what the fuck are you talking about? Well, of course, if you compare trade by trade, it's never going to work like that. You got to sell 3K up here, 3 separate positions, or 2, and dump one to here and ride the other guy and dump that. In the ultimate money management system, if you were going to buy the lonely wick here and get filled on a 1E, and you got you could afford to put another order here that doesn't get filled necessarily, but you could afford it. You know what it costs. If you have a master stop on here, you know that at this stack, okay, and you just get a tablet and you write a script. Now these are hand drops here, so these are going to be like, I'm going to drop it right here, and it's going to be way deep, where if I pre-code it, it's going to be a double click that you can load on a tablet. And if you see an opportunity that you know is ridiculous, and you say to yourself, wow, this market's fucking nuts, I suspect, based on my charting on my tablet, 8-inch tablet's going to be the best choice here. And you want to blow the font up to about 400%, or take windows up to an elaborate, like a child's, because if you're going to be hitting this thing, you don't want to hit the wrong ticket. And that's why you typically want to trade everything with 1Ks, because this is how you take advantage of the broker's micro granularity of trading, so you don't have to risk so much money. And of course, if you're doing the nano, the spread's going to get very wide on a nano account. But then again, you're talking about a guy that just wants to rent a room, not buy a house. And look at these people running rooms. My God, you know, you write it off. I'm a nonprofit corporation. I just spent all that money renting this room. Of course, those giant lines of blow that everybody was doing was paid for it, funded by the local authorities. I guess they stumbled across some stuff. And hey guys, what are you doing later? So you know how that happens. That's why nobody can trust anything. They're always out to get us. Yeah, it's just too much out there, isn't it? The stuff you're hearing. So this is that absolutely classic situation, right? Goes, punches up one last punch, and then just like it does on the bottom side, that one little nick the wick coming into the next session. Of course, you know, the spreads are tightening up here. Everybody's like, buy, for whatever reason, you know, I don't know who's buying. You know, this is the idea that the retail guy is such a fucking goober. Well, you know, if he bought this fucking rally, if he put a buy stop here, like the guy that puts a buy stop here and puts a sell stop here and he gets filled long and he's like, I'm risking this much. And as the market goes up, if he does, I'm picking the worst scenario for this guy. If he decides to move his stop up an equal amount, then he only makes this much money, right? Because it came back and fucking stopped him out. You know, gave a lot of room, gave the market a lot. Dude, when it ripped like this, you had to say to yourself, what the fuck? You got to get out. Now, if you think this is the beginning of some fucking like they killed JFK again or something. Everybody's losing their minds for some reason, and it's all happening, and everybody's, crazy about it. They're out of their minds about it. So, what's everybody going to do? And are you in the right size for the train that you think's going the other way? So the train is going to turn around on the tracks. It's going to drift around, and even if it does not go your way, if you're short or long, hedged or just naked, in a small position into Asia, there's always a place to get out. Or you're just going to let it go against you for whatever, how many pips, I guess if you don't have stops on it, it's going to be until you blow up the account. So if it's in a standard lot, it could be a problem if it goes 200 pips against you. But if you're not confident, but I guess you have to be confident to some degree that it's okay for you to wait in a position, because sitting on the sidelines waiting to get in doesn't allow you to see the other side of the trade. So somebody gives you a car with the steering wheel on the wrong side, very awkward, and you have to think, well, fuck, the next car might be back the normal side, and like, this is kind of fucking with my head. Some guy was saying I'd be okay in Thailand. I don't know what side of the road you're driving on there. So that would be a little mind bender. I'd have to stay home maybe and just relax. I'm not driving if you're going to keep changing the rules every day. Nah, we re-voted on that. Steering wheel. We had to drive you in the back seat. We made it legal to be a backseat driver. We're going to put the steering wheel in the back, sir. They got that tilt wheel now where you get in the car and you can choose the angle that you want to have your head smash into the steering column. I guess that's the idea here, is you aim the bag at your head or something. You get this new tilt steering. Give me one of those trucks, man, with the good old-fashioned rack and pinion steering. Yeah, and the electric cars have special tires because the car weighs so fucking much, I guess. When you run somebody over in one of those things, man? It's like a little bullet. This car will go from 100. Oh, that's great. This sounds very safe. The people are bragging about the torque on this Tesla. I'm like, dude, it's fucking Death Race 2000. China Express. Midnight Express to China on that thing. So this looks like a failed rally here. Let's hope. I'm slightly short, waiting to get out and then maybe reload on the sell limits and treat the whole thing like a range trade. And the Bitcoin's leaving the station a little bit. Let's see if there was a chance to get in on this pullback idea. When do we think that this thing turned over? I'm always going to say it's going to be hard support and resistance on the it's always going to be on top of the what we got here. All right, so we're going to go back to the Bitcoin chart on the dailies, and you really had to buy this blue, and you have to assume that this is the head. And you always have to buy the head, even though it may retest the head. Buy the head. This stuff's expensive, these trades. So there's no doubt in my mind that this here is a closing price. Almost a shaved candle, and then you get this hammer, and then you get so this is very intense. The daily chart on the Bitcoin, it's a very classic setup. Really doesn't get much better than that. It's like this one up here at the top tick Tommy. We assume this is going to be the shoulder. This is the head. Okay. And a lot of people are going to say, well, if that's true, then this has to be the shoulder. and we're going to start tanking, which you do. But look at this, the contour on this is so drifty and just so perfect. This is the support that becomes the, sideways. It's getting all like what's going to happen. It spills out and everybody's, oh, look at it just turned blue. Like that's fucking great. Good robot you made there, son. Or like that robot, did you? But are your stops up here, or are your stops like trailing really tight? That's the daily chart. So these things are considered, because if you sell this rally into blue, which you would if you're a trend trader, every time it's blue, you sell rallies, right? It worked out here. It worked out here. Every time you sell close into blue, at the close of the day, you sell. It's fucking painfully obvious. Here, you buy any pullback into, so you're buying right now. If you think this is the trend line, but if you stepped in front of the train and you're buying this island, this little slice, and then, just, I think buying this whole collapse, when it recarves this vacuum, because this one's already one and done. Once it's spiked there, all that's left, all we know is this delta, and then kabam, and people's heads explode, and the news is all bad and everything. It's so stupid because it goes down, and then the news comes out. Oh, you sure about this? You sure about that? And there's kind of good news about it. Like people say, oh, come back, Bitcoin. Oh, we really do like you after all. Oh, I don't want to sound like Kanye West on. If I could just I was creeped out by Kanye and fucking Alex Jones. My head exploded. This guy is such a goof. He's like Tiny fucking Tim. Does anybody know who Tiny Tim is? I thought he was going to do Tim. You know what? So I went to listen to Kanye. And I tell you what, dude. It sounds like shit. There's so much better fucking music anywhere. And I don't get it. The guy takes samples. I'm so clever. I took this fucking James Bond thing. Yeah, I'm listening. And some guy that's on an interview with Piers Morgan saying, I'm so fucking intelligent. I'm like, well, I think I am too. So we all think we're a genius, you fuckhead. God, what the fuck? I wants to be president. Oh my God. So it's just, it's amazing. It's just a goof. But see, that's the edge. And the Bitcoin, that's why I'm saying you should buy Bitcoin, because of Kanye West. He's going to refund it, man. He's going to go totally digital green. He's going to go digital Marxist on you, full tilt. He's going to make everything else look like a fucking a picnic basket. Yeah, so I say buy the Bitcoin there, and I don't want to buy in pullbacks. I'm going to dump it. I feel like if I trade it from the long side, here's the idea of the trend. We trade it from the long side, wait for it to congest, and it goes into a flag formation. It goes into a delta. Then we get on the train of the last known price pulse, which was up. So we consider that to be a uptrend. As we buy all pullbacks in the last known color shift in whatever time frame you choose. But if you're searching for the weekly setup, you're probably not going to make a living holding a trade for 6 months. It's kind of hard to hold a giant position without peeling something out of that. Granted, you would, on paper it looks like you made $1 million a year, but you're going to have to hold that fucking one position, and it's got to fucking make $1 million a year that one particular year, because it balance out all your other fucking bullshit, awful trades. So, trades that are just not going to go anywhere, because it's like really kind of, if you were to be set loose on the world to just do stuff and what have you, and so whatever topic you choose to become expert in. But yeah, I wasn't impressed, the kind of, he's hanging out with this Kardashian chick because her ass is how wide. I don't get the intellectual pull there. And, the guy's ranting about how I want to put him up against the guy from Russia that we met online that one night. That guy that was loving the N people. We got to take him from the Discord. That guy that came on the show, and I don't know if they tore that show down. This guy came unwrapped on every Don Rickles without the humor. You know, I don't know if you were there. It was memorable. I was like, okay, well, I'm definitely freaked out. You're definitely felt like Alex Jones. I'm in the Twilight Zone now. Now I'm in the Twilight Zone. Oh, I just watched that clip, and Alex said, "I'm in the Twilight Zone." I would be lawyered up before he had that fucking goof on and that mask. Like, I guess this is it. It's shock jock shit. And then the guy was like, "I want to run for president." Okay, sure you do. This is great. Well, I feel like, hey, listen, at least my music sounds good. I mean, I guess that's a litmus test. Jerry Springer show music style. But I don't get it, man. Honestly. I'd rather listen to Ringo take a drum solo. I don't get it. You know, it's ridiculous. But, you know, this is the world we live in. We can't do anything about it. It's unfolding in front of us. Fucking slow motion train wreck. But this is how it is, you know. People don't remember the 70s when the wheels came off. We had these nanny state dudes come in, step in, and fuck it up. The classic situation. And they just out of whack prices. The high drama. Oh, the world's coming to an end. I think we got about 4 days left of diesel, don't forget, people. So you better get out your fucking favorite toys and get them all fucking revved up and get it all ready. Get your bunker all fucking fluff the pillow in the bunkers, people, because you know it's gonna be a rough showdown here. Logic and reason versus fucking serious stupidity beyond the point of no return. I always feel that way, and I see the market make an extreme move, I think. How many fucking people are on that train? The highway to hell. How many people are on the fucking highway to hell tonight? Or in the next 8 hours? I've seen these markets move so fucking hard down, like a 15-minute chart. Like, how about like 15-minute bars, not one bullish bar, not one up bar. This thing couldn't take a fucking breath. Maybe one baby doji, some fucking gravestone shit, dragonfly, inverted, you know, fill in the blank as far as gravestone with a dragonfly, morning star, I think. Yeah, that's it. I got a robot. It trades once every 20 years, but when it sees a fucking monthly Dragonfly Doji shooting star, this fucking thing it loads the fucking wagon so hard, and it doesn't even use a stop because it knows it's such a fucking great breakout. But you do need maybe you don't need a bias on that. If you hedge it, if you hedge it with good ratios, then you're just going to accept the fact that you don't know, but you'd still have to scale out of that. If you loaded at the market every 4 hours, the market went nowhere. The robot keeps pulling the trigger in a buy and a sell with targets that are symmetrically above and below, cashing out. And you have to have the peace of mind to look at the fucking account and say, what this thing has got, you just go flat. So win, lose, or draw, whatever the last price pulse is, when you go into the Asian session, you're just going to get out. And then you reload, or you're going to, if you're in a very small position, you would have to make the decision at that point. I don't think I'd leave that in the hands of a robot. Jesus Christ, at the end of the day, if you can't figure out what the fuck to do. Like at the end of Asia, you can't figure out, well, maybe you want to go 20% long and 60% short. And you can do that trade because you think, well, you know what? Using the same ratios on both legs of that thing, I'll take my chances. And then when we see, okay, it's not working out, do I drop a leg? You have to have flexibility to drop a leg. or a percentage of a leg and hit the take all profits. Now, I've done that before, and it's very profitable, but you also have to keep reloading the fucking wagon if you want to maintain a certain position size. So you can take advantage of really big moves. So in situations where you're going to ride a small position, you need to have very wide targets, because if something fucking goes nuts and you happen to be on the right side of that trade for whatever reason, you're going to make some money. And you're out. You're like, what the fuck just happened? I'm just, wow, didn't even see that. Because you're in a position before the move, because you're in the delta. And if you get stopped down, they're tight stops, then they're going to blow you out of that trade anyway. So if you have risk 20 to make 80, you're going to put that position on during the when the market's going sideways, and then you still have to have scaled out targets to 80. You couldn't just go hard to 80, because you wouldn't survive the times it never goes to the fucking target. You just keep getting smashed out on your 20 pip stop, which seems insanely tight all of a sudden because of the current trend of the market. So as people start to move around and the market starts to move up and down, this is when well, it's not this time of day, but well, you just have the news tomorrow, so you don't have many hours left. So there'll be some frantic moves, and then it's like, okay, this is only going to probably be there's not much energy left after these high drama moves. And tomorrow is going to be supposedly the big jobs report. But if we drift down all night long in the direction that I'm in, short right now, then I'm going to love that trade for the sake that gotta love every trade equally, son. So you can't really judge, but in a fast market, it really is something to behold. This could be a 1 hour chart here in the euro dollar, but it's not as Bitcoin. But it's just a perfect example. And this is the most high drama moment for Bitcoin, because it took out that floor last month and it had everybody's head exploded. And this is going to be the place to cash out, is up into this last known low. And this would be my ultimate if I had to pick, like, oh, this is the fucking ultimate price. But on the way out, I'm certainly going to be thinking about cashing out something as you approach that, because, this is not always guaranteed. And we don't want to have everything so planned out that if it fails you, stops you out, you don't say, well, okay, we lost that one. It's going to take me out of the competition. I guess these competitions, you're not allowed to trade the way I'm trading it. Jesus Christ, I mean, how ridiculous. Well, no, son, you got to pick a position. You got to go with it. You got to marry one girl. Oh, what? Dude, I'm just really kind of trampy. I like to buy everything. I bought the whole store. I bought little things and big things, and so the big trades to 80 pip stops. You can do it, and you just have to be defiantly in slow motion there. If you're going to do a giant swing trade and you're going to sell every day it goes up, you're like, fuck these motherfuckers. I'm going to sell this shit. Higher it goes, the more I sell. You son of a bitch, and it's really very profitable if you can afford it. Because you're like, I told you he's going down. I told you he's going. That dude's been drifting up for like 5 days. I told you. But wait, that one day's coming. That one day's coming. It's going to be all over for that currency pair. I'm telling you, sonny. It's just too many people on that train. And that's the way you go look at it, It's kind of like, I can explain it to somebody. It's kind of easy, right? It's going down, but it's going down so fast, so hard. Never seen it go down so fast, so hard. Yeah, no shit. Now, if you're short on that, you're like, damn, look at this, we're making money. And then about 5 minutes later or 5 hours later, you're like, we're not really making that much money now, are we? What happened? Somebody's, Son, did you make a withdrawal account without telling me? No, I just, I guess the market must have reversed on some kind of like misfortune. They decided that no, forex is not the cure for cancer. That's not going to work. You can't be telling people shit like that. Oh boy, swing trading is certainly the most laid back style of trading. How many times you pull the trigger on that trade? Well, it's been about a week. We're up 400 pips. And totally, some of these instruments are out of control. I mean, think about the range on this stuff, right? We're back in the saddle waiting for another brilliant move by the market. Another one of those amazing turnaround. I really want it to crash. It's taking a long time. It's going to take a long time tonight to make money. We're looking for a drift down in the euro. Take us down about 20 more pips. I'll get out. To the next place I want to start buying again. So I figure this is a revolving door of support and resistance. And the voids in the market are going to be what's attracting the next movement in the market. So always kind of want to go after these holes. If there's a hole, something's going in it. That's what they tell you in that sexology class people took in college. Here's a classic. This is the 4-hour trap. Of course, this looks very expensive. You might get your wallet open for this one. On the one. No, this is a 4-hour chart. Let's reduce the insane ATRs there. Just the data, pure data sampling. So here's a 4-hour chart in the famous blow your account up dollar CAD, which if you don't know how to swing trade, this thing's gonna trend. People are gonna just lose their mind on this shit. I think this is a rough currency, very dynamic. A lot of competition here. Separated just by a few miles. And that's, I think, what's giving the high drama effect. Daily looks very... it was the top tick-tommy up here. Here's the last known, kind of like waiting all month to get filled on that one again. And they're like, so if you sold anything above this, either one tick above this high back here, or you sold, hopefully, one tick above and beyond. If you could afford to put sell limits all the way to the top of this, that would be the ideal situation. Now here you didn't get filled enough. If you could afford to put your tickets in here and you had your first sell orders here, then you're going to stack up, stack up, stack up. So maybe you filled 5K, but you're ready to go into 20K, man. And you had a master stop above here because you just want to make sure, just in case, nobody go fuck come after that stop. And you really do want to trade like that sometimes because that's swing trading at its finest, I think. Here, no fill though. Very disappointing. I guess if you had, so here's the argument that one ticket got filled, son of a bitch. Now this is actually a lot of money. If your stop's here, I mean, that's a good fucking trade, right? Look at the dailies. So if you're going to buy, you're a contrarian, right? Everybody tells you, what the fuck? Now, on the timing of bottom becoming a top in this dollar CAD, you've got the, this is, what am I, the dollar CAD or am I the Bitcoin? Oh, it doesn't matter, I'm in Bitcoin. So, no, it's dollar CAD. I thought, I got $2 CAD, sorry. So, this is the classic perfect setup, so to speak. This is what they teach people. It feels so bad because there's very rarely do you see this fucking setup. And it is a bottom becoming a top in a blue bearish trend mode. Blue sell all rallies into a bottom becoming a top in blue. And this robot's making so much fucking money by this day here. People are like, that fucking, man, let's sell this rally too. Yeah, it's blue. Gotcha. Does anybody see a problem with this? I could show you, I could cherry pick all the great trades. Well, here, sell here then. Yeah, right. Well, then it's money management. How it's going to protect you from this? Well, the hedge traders are, every time this range delta's out, they're going to get in here at the hedge. Every time it starts to get very, very quiet, and you get these little baby zigzags, and stuff doesn't really come back, and maybe waiting for this pullback. Right, this is the top become a bottom. And I've on a 4-hour chart I could do that, but I don't think I can handle it on a daily. But this is certainly the exquisite entry. You know, this would be the, and then you just go ripping above here. There are sellers like you cannot believe up here, and they all are winners if they could wait to here. That's why counter trend trading is just the same thing as trend trading. It's just trading, but you're not waiting for a fucking setup. Who's waiting for this fucking pullback shit? If I see this thing climaxing like this, I'm like, you fucking are, this is the dumbest fucking rally I've ever seen in my life. These people are fucking idiots. This is all I have to say about that. Is these people are fucking morons. What do they think's going to happen here? They're just going to fucking treat you like a rag doll up here for days, man. This is like 8 days of like, well, is it going up? Is it going down? I don't know. But I'm just thinking, sell every fucking rally because every rally is bullshit. I'm like, really? Like, I'm just a contrarian. If this thing's going like this, I just like sell that shit. If it's blue, I'm like, buy that shit. That's me. I'm a contrarian. But certainly, if you're going to say, well, I just fucking, as soon as it turns yellow, I buy. Well, here you're fucking late. What are you going to buy every yellow day and then get crushed as it comes back? I'm speaking in one ticket terms, though, which is not reality, because if you were to trade slightly like a contrarian and realize, okay, this could be a good trend trade. I get you. You know, I've made all this money going against all these goobers, so I'm just going to say, well, the same thing here is I'm going to go against them as soon as it turns blue. I'm going to buy. And when it's yellow, I sell, you know, and you can just see that if you started selling back here and you still held that position, that eventually that was break even too. That's presupposing you can handle this amount of fucking movement to the north. But if you're trading teeny tiny positions, sure, if you layer those in, you're the ultimate swing trader because you sold every fucking rally up here, and when it got to top, you sold so much up here, it's mind-blowing, right? Now you start putting big tickets in. Because you go, someday, man, it's going to come all the way back. You see, come all the way back to the starting gate. And it does sometimes. Yeah, it came back to this, blew out this double bottom. And these are giant swing trades. This is 3 months of data. So yeah, if you can handle it, man, it's a lifestyle that, you know, you can chill, you know. It's like, what are you going to do there, you know? What'd you do this month? Well, like 13 days ago, I got in this big trade. But I think you'd be scaling in on every rally a little bit. Build a position against the goobers, and then the goober train comes by, and you're like, okay, get the next train, please. Next train, please. Next. And teeny tiny positions with pendings above and below, waiting for more trouble to get involved in. You're actually trying to get in trouble here. That's the other thing that's really tough about trading, is that to some degree, this guy was saying, isn't that risky or something? Yeah, it's got to be risky, because if you're driving on the hood of your car, you know, if your steering wheel's mounted on the hood of the car, it's different, I think. If you have a chance to steer it a little bit, like choose what road you're going to go down, but you are going to be on the hood of your car. We just waxed the hood of your car, I forgot to tell you. I'm telling you now. You've been told. Yeah, we had to wax the we're getting better mileage now. Ever since we waxed the car, the drag has gone down considerably. Especially in those humid nights. I put Rain-X on the finish now. It starts to beat up. It's a beautiful thing. So the market just keeps on grinding along. We want to zoom out to the weeklies and get that big picture. It's the end of the week. About to close out the weekly. A dollar CAD's like in the sell mode here. So I would not try to fight the weekly trend in a sense. Even though there are some good counter trend trades in here, you can see that if you've got the patience to wait for this setup, which I don't know who would. This is an exquisite double top become a bottom, and you're good to go because you are on the goober train on the weekly. Now, it's something to be said for the 3-period moving average on the weekly. But once again, back here, I can prove to you that you might get chopped to death also, because every time you buy this pullback, this is the problem. All systems have a they're caught in okay, so if you're looking for a particular setup, it may look great, but then when you zoom out, you realize the other giant moves, which are the exact same setup fractally, are just too expensive to trade. You just could never survive the fucking pattern. You can't. That's why people say, does it work on the 1-minute chart? Sure. If there was no spread, you could probably make, if there was a very tiny spread and you were sitting in front of your computers, with your crack pipe and your coffee, your espresso, and you were just ready to just pull the trigger on one of these cherry keyboards and just nail it, yeah, I guess. But if you're going to chill and just go, I'm in 4 hours, I'm just going to buy a retest at the same price. I mean, it's really a lifestyle choice. But I can see it, when the news to come out, you got your finger on the trigger, you're going to get out of this trade, the broker's not going to requote you. So if you're trading on your phone, I don't know, my phone is just a piece of shit. So I thought I lost my phone. Well, no, I thought the phone died. I think it ran out of storage space and it locked up. So then I bought a new phone, and the new phone just sucks so bad. But what do you want for $50? Maybe I'm asking too much. I don't understand the $1,000 Apple phone. Is it going to give you head? Like, what is going on with this phone that everybody's into? I just don't get it. What is with the Apple phone? Does it just not ask? Does it just not? Don't ask, don't tell kind of phone? What is going on with that phone? We're not allowed to talk about it. Owners have signed a contract. They're not allowed to, and they're not allowed to send any kind of messages on their special message thing that they created. By the way, yeah, that's a problem too. Oh, that's right. I forgot about that little glitch they have where it's not able to connect. They keep cutting me off. But yeah, this is the ultimate setup. You waiting for that trade? Waited all year for that trade, son. What, do you think this is fucking magic what I'm doing here? Oh, a lot of hard work into all these buying every fucking pullback. Every fucking week it went down, son. I took your college fund and I've been loading the wagon on this goddamn trade. So shut the fuck up. Sit down. Let me show you something. Every time it was down on the weekly, I bought. So you know me. I'd be buying that blue. So 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks of buying. And then as soon as it went up, stop buying it. Do not buy anymore. Just ride that goober train. Do not buy this fucking pullback, please. You should be getting the fuck out of that trade. As it takes out this high, I'd be cashing out. If it takes out this high, I'm cashing out. And when it takes this high, I hopefully have flat. When it's climaxing, I'm flat. I'm not going to buy this pullback. I'm sorry. I'm never, even though this is supposedly what you're supposed to do, because it's an uptrend on the weekly. So you missed your chance to buy here. Well, what's the alternative? If this is the weekly chart, sure, if this is like screaming, but you realize, why is it screaming? Because it took this out, and people are just going, oh my God. Here was a great scalp. You sold above here. It didn't blow up. They didn't blow up that one particular minefield of tickets that you laid up there to capture the drifting up the hot air balloon, or the catch a falling stop a radioactive cloud with a bunch of tickets to cushion the rise. And as it goes up like this, yeah, if it's going up too fast, this is a weekly chart, but if it's going up, if this is the 1 hour chart, there's really no chance in my mind. This is a great day trade. This kid was saying he couldn't day trade. Sure he could. If this is the previous day, got sell limits all the way up here, and as it approaches here, it gets filled. You've already got your targets cashed out. So maybe here, okay, you don't make as much, because if you start selling above here and you oversize that, but if you have expirations that say this is a 1 hour chart and these tickets are going to last for 8 hours here or 12 hours, you can't get to the platform. You saw this wick, but I would just be throwing this shit out in front of it as it's happening. So these catch a falling knife ideas, situational. I wouldn't try to do it on the daily, because like you said, you're not going to live long enough. Even if you're 20 years old, you don't want to be waiting for a setup on the weekly chart. Dude, trust me. You're never going to be able to handle mentally all the torturous zigzags to come your way. I mean, it's not even part of, you have to have some kind of callous in your mind about risk. Because every time you drive somewhere in your car, you're like, you might as well be in a spaceship. It's so fucking dangerous, especially the way people drive now. So gas made it to my magical $3.44 a gallon here. So I get in the car, and now I feel like, you know what? I'm going to test out the acceleration of this car. Of course, now it's acting up. I guess it's really got to be very... I should talk to the car. I guess you got to really talk to these fucking things, and have some kind of connection with the car. The car's not as smart as it thinks it is. Although it locks the doors itself randomly. Like, I'm afraid it's going to lock me out one day when I put gas in it. So I'm keeping the doors slightly open. I'm not paranoid. I'm keeping it slightly open, because every time I put gas in, I think, oh, the door's going to shut. It's going to go click, click, and go, yeah, it's the only key you got, right? Hell 9000. Is that the only key you got? Hell, open my car, please. Dude. So I don't want to buy it. I actually want to go down to that kind of car, the muscle car, the old classic Trans Am with a bird on the hood. Something like that. So we can count on some good, normally aspirated machine. None of that weird stuff. None of them transitional cars. Those tranny cars trying to be that's one gear, man. It's just one gear. I heard a guy talking about that one gear tranny. What a piece of shit when it starts to fall apart. Well, no shit, right? God, how many gears in that? 20 gears? What could possibly go wrong? I looked up my tranny and it said that it had fucking 600 parts and 300 patents. I'm like, wow. These guys made some money on this, some bank. How many attorneys were involved in this transmission for this car? It's a fucking Hyundai. These people fucking brainstormed this shit like a Mazda or something. It's all tweaked out. Now it's acting up. I'm like, thanks for the overly tweaked fucking 6. Why not 8 speeds? Why stop at 10? I'll make it a fucking truck, for God's sakes. Jeez, what am I driving, a truck? Yep. Whether you like it or not, man, we're in a bus. We're on a train. And if you were just born like, if you're 20 years old and you're not used to the true analog world, like no Miss Googles, No Siris, no Miss Siri, no Android coming over to molest you. We talked about it in the band, and I come to the conclusion that once you get one of these robo babes, that you're pretty much going to be fucked because you won't be able to get anything done. Oh, honey, what could you do for me next? And of course, when you don't feel guilty about talking to a robot, this is going to be a problem. Speak and trade. MetaTrader, please get me out of this fucking trade. MetaTrader, give me a patience pill. Yeah, give me a beer. I'm feeling more patient every more minute. I have a tequila. Man, I called tequila guy. So I haven't talked to Mr. My tequila trader guy in so long. I called him up. And he called me back finally. He was so he actually said to me, I kid you not, he said, "You're still alive?" And he used a kind of a derogatory comment, ethnically charged comment. And I was like, wow, dude. I didn't know if he was hammered, and just, really lashing out. Has been none, and once you get older, it's kind of a dark lash out, about Nazis and how I love a Nazi. Nothing like a Nazi reach around, Kanye West. Oh my God. I wanted to post some memes, but I couldn't find the artwork. I would have been him getting like a Nazi girl, bondage Nazi girl with a strap on, banging Kanye in the ass. That was if I could have done a meme like that. Oh, it would have been. I guess you can talk. My buddy got an app where he can talk into he can type into his phone and make up these images, hybrid images, and just give it a bunch of buzzwords. It's going to build a image based on the symbols you picked or the things. It's going to compose it in a certain style. What style do you want it to be? And I guess this is the playmate of the future is to have a digital robot, babe, or at least a digital chess. Even the robots that play chess. If you're really out of your fucking mind, bored and lonely, then you're gonna play chess with a robot. It's the ultimate. At least for a training device, it's like a backboard for tennis. I guess you're gonna keep hitting that fucking ball. But here we just keep putting the same dumb shit trade on over and over again. Waiting for a better result. Just doesn't seem to happen. I don't know. I tried his guy's system. He said you should just buy in pullbacks. And what's a pullback? Looks like a new trend down to me. Fuck you. It's not easy. So the size, if you're in a tiny position, you're like, I don't care. It doesn't bother me much. And the guy that's undersized, this is why they're saying risk 2% of your account. But I would never risk one position at 2%. If you're really going to do that game, then you're going to have to risk 0.001% of your account per trade and have 2 standard lots running, which adds up to be 2% of your account. That's how you really should be trading it, right? I mean, that's the perfect sensical answer, is to do that. I mean, this is just pure math. There's no real... That's what should be a hard number. Now, if you're going to only fill 80... You typically fill 80K or 800K, whatever the number is. Maybe you find yourself in 13K one day, and next day you're in 0K, and next day you're in 55K because the market came slamming into all these tickets that you've had pending there, hoping that, for God's sakes, man, if they ever come back to this price. And as the market's slamming down at the rate it's coming down, it's triggering everybody that trades on those systems, which say if the market's plunging like a whore, buy like a whore. This is the contrarian swing traders. On that train to hell are all the trend traders that are holding and adding on the micro level of a 5-minute chart. They just keep adding to the position because they get a signal on a 5-minute chart. So people, they're going to keep trend trading, to buy every pullback on the 5-minute when you think you're in some move that's going to continue. because you see you're crushing into a new void as you look back into the landscape of price, and as you're going up, it's painfully fucking obvious that you're gonna cut that fucking wake. You're gonna cut into that void. And on the 5-minute chart, it's gonna look very like, oh, this is a piece of cake. But that train's coming to an end by the time you get to the Asian session. There's a burst maybe at 3 p.m. Yeah, it spikes, and you're like, dude, you got to get out. Like, you're a seller now. Even though you went long, you really are a seller, but you're not initiating a new leg. It's when you put the new leg on, you're as close as you're going to get to making a single decision as opposed to a faded decision or a scaled in or a averaging in and out, and not being able to be, hard-nosed. This is like, oh, this is the only place to get in here, and I'm waiting for a 618 on the 1-hour chart. If I don't get it, then I'm not getting in. That's just ridiculous, because if the market's drifting around and you're holding a position, if you're good at that, then you can do that. If you can scalp, you can scalp. So to have all these different things, I thought there was only one way to trade it. I thought, well, there's only one way to trade this, and there must be something I'm missing, because I spent so much money on so many books, and I had watched so many videos to that point. And it's like 1990 at this point. And I'm thinking, you got to be kidding me. Like, and I had all the data. I had the best software. Like $10,000 of software in 1990, and with all this stuff just to see data come in. And I thought, well, this is it. I got the best charting. Okay, I'm not a fucking moron. I'm not Kanye West. I'm not that smart, right? I mean, I couldn't just fucking come up with some bullshit lyrics about, well, yeah, they talk about Matisse and Picasso. Dude, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Okay? These are just fucking artists. They're just people. To me, it's complete bullshit. Okay, Matisse, Monet, well, oh, so the guy did Lily. So what? You should see my shit. You should see the guy down the street shit. I mean, everybody does nice shit. It's just iconically old. So it has this heritage idea to it. This part about it being, well, this is like solid. This is the most solid reference in the world. Oh, is it really? All right, so it's a reference. As guy did this. It's true when you see this guy walking down the stairways. There's different styles that people came up with. Oh, yeah, that's absolutely, nobody's going to try to copy these people either. But the fact that this painting's supposedly worth all this money, it's funny that these kids, these little brats, are putting orange paint on it. It's just mind-blowing. I'm like, wow, I kind of like that. That's really good paint. In fact, that's a petroleum product. Like, you're fucking wasting a lot. We're going to have to replace that now. That's fucking so stupid. But, you got to love it. Their heart's in the right place, isn't it? But what amazingly generous kids to purchase a product to support their enemy. You got to love that. Their heart's in it, man. They're real true hippies. These people are sacrificial. If you really think about it. Yeah, I thought about it. Those are dedicated little brats. But it is kind of funny because it looks cool. I thought, well, they really kind of improved that. It's that they're doing that fucking pop art where you just pop stuff onto the canvas and you go, look at that, check that shit out. That's really high quality pigment. That's really what it's about. How good is that pigment? So then I decided to go with these colorful moving averages, so I don't want to lose any viewers over those boring charts I had before. Besides the cloud trading. Actually, if you extend this out to a 5-period, 8-period moving average, you can make this a real low, nice. And you just cherry pick like the best trade. Okay, you take out just too many, changes color too often. And that's why they came out with that cloud trading, because they put this big fat fucking 56-period moving average out there, shifted for some reason, I guess, to give you a signal. And it's just the offset. It's crazy. You can run it on your phone if you got a MetaTrader on your phone. It's actually a choice. You can put cloud trading charting on your phone. It's crazy. No, it's a real thing. But it's going to be one of those nights in the 50 degrees here, and we're able to drive at high speed now, thanks to cheap prices, without any guilt feelings of any another tanker using more reserve fuel of our. Well, I got 8.5 hours of diesel left. People, please get to your cars right now and start them. We're going to have a drag race. It's going to be Death Race 2000. I'm going to go with my fuel-injected car over my normally desperate car, my motorcycle with the sidecar. I got Kanye riding in my sidecar, a little Nazi motorcycle with the and the Mercedes again. Him and Kanye. God, this is so funny, man. It'd be different if he was talented. I would be more interested, but I don't hear him playing no. He's like there's no funk. He's got no funk. He's got no soul. He's got no rhythm. I'm like, dude, you're using samples? Really? Well, you gotta check it out. And he's talking about Roy Ayers. Dude, you don't even know what you're talking about. Like, what are you talking about? You're like the most ridiculous guy. But you gotta love it because, like Jerry Springer, you're like, I'm a genius all over again. I decided not to take that path in my career to become super wealthy, and I guess people do love that. It's like Elvis. I mean, was Elvis a genius? I guess that's the appeal. It's like, well, look at this fucking goober Elvis, Now he can sing. But, I mean, yeah, I guess Elvis is original equipment. He's doing gospel stuff. But he's doing analog, there's not any samples there. It's hard work. I mean, Elvis sweat to death. I mean, I think he sweat to death, right, on stage. Kanye's not working too hard. He's just like, dude, I got a vocoder. Shut the fuck up. I got auto fucking tune on my vocoder. You got to hear this shit. Wait till I put it in a little Eventide on top with a little bit of this, a little sparkle. Oh, you're really going to love it then. And then he shows up all messed up. You should hang out with but he does. I mean, this is pop icon stuff, and then the guy's like, I think I'm gonna run for president. God, dude. So if you're really smart, though, you want to think that you figured out how the market works, and there's a secret, and it's page 222 or something in some book by these guys that wrote this book. And it is true. If you feel like there is a magical connection, I guess is the ICT view of trading, is that there's some. I guess you woke up one day, looked at the charts, and you had this, like, you heard angels singing in the background with a bunch of reverb, really high-end reverb. And you thought, well, this must be it. This is my calling. And I love when people say they have a calling. Yeah, I'm sure serial killers say the same thing in the morning. Yeah, I'm hearing voices in my head today, and that guy was resurrected. Remember that guy? I still, my mind just can't ever accept the premise that this guy was resurrected. The only guy that ever was resurrected, huh? Okay, well, I guess we're all resurrected every day we wake up. If we make it through the night, whatever gets you through the night. All right, we're waiting for the euro to roll over tonight, and then we're going to put that thing to bed. It's going to go down 40 pips. That's going to be my place to cash out. It's got to go up before it goes down, though. I left that out of the description. So the euro has to kind of go up. One last failure swing. I'm going to sell into the shoulder. I'm slightly short to the head. But for all I know, this is going to be it. I'm willing to accept this is the last trade of the week. I mean, the last trade into European Open. So for the next 4 hours, I will be a seller. And if we drop lower, I'll be cashing out and trying to lay more track to catch a falling knife into the next plunge zone, which I suspect is going to be it could be 40 to 80 pips down. Are we going to just kind of close here in the middle between yesterday's high and in the euro? I got to go to the euro chart. So all these kind of questions in the last. I close out this cat. I got a little sidetracked. The Canadian dollar. Let me just go to the 1 hour chart and see the trades you missed. I'll show you the setups on the 1 hour. Based on this trend system, and this is going to be almost like a 4 hour chart of the blue, because it's a 3-period moving average, a 2 and a 3-period moving average. I figure, well, that's going to make it so that it's a virtual 4 hour chart or a 3 hour chart. And of course, if that's the case, you're probably going to break open a smaller time frame and just sell with the same indicator. Sell every time it goes yellow into the blue. And you put them side by side, and you'd be like, okay. Or you can just trade this one raw. Starting on the left side here, going back 4 days. Let's pick out the trades. Of course, this variance, your stop goes from maybe 20 pips to 40 pips. You're going to have a range of stops. You need at least 6 different tickets. Maybe a 10 pip stop at 20, a 30, a 40, 50, on and on like that. That's going to be your classic bullshit. And then you're going to have your 20 is going to make, let's make it a greedy, double your money. It doesn't mean you can't get out of the fucking trade when at the end of the day. But just to be simple, we're going to say risk 20 to make 40, risk 30 to make 60, risk 40 to make 80. And now you don't have a lot of. All of a sudden you're like, well, couldn't I have a 20 to make 20? No, well, you could. And now it gets complicated. Now you're going to go down another fucking rabbit hole, of decision making and all these things. And then maybe you're not going to be able to survive these trades. It's like, oh, that was a great trade, but I think you have a better chance if they're limit trades in that style. So if you have single drops that you would drop and actually have an explicit 20 to make 40, you could drop them in several sweet spots, so to speak. Maybe you put an 8K in like that. You have an 8K where you're risking 25 pips to make 50 pips, this kind of stuff. And when the market does come into that area and goes ripping back out, you almost don't have to touch that trade. I mean, that is the perfect trap trading there really is. Make money by trapping. So I was watching these trappers say that he's breaking all the trapping rules, using like live bait and shit. Like, yeah, I guess he was taking birds and stuff, and I don't know what kind of stuff you're not allowed to trap. But in this thing, you're allowed to use any fucking thing. But you're fucking, anything in here. Any kind of ticket you want, it doesn't matter. Like here's an array, but this didn't fill. This didn't fill here, but it did days later. Like this is a great trade, right? This one didn't fill either. And I wanted to drop these things days ago. And that was the 1 hour chart. So I was looking for another rip down. I think it just filled the very top ticket there. But this is an 8 hour one. This actually did fill slightly, but this is so underfilled, it's really not a good fit at all. I do have a robot that can launch tickets, but you'd have to turn on the proper bot. If you thought, well, you know what, I went long here, as this was dropping, imagine I bought every down thing as it's blue. And as soon as it turned up, I said I'm not buying, even though this is a perfect pullback before you take off. And this is the most exquisite setup, really, This thing performs pretty good here, but I don't think you gotta risk 20 to make 100. You probably don't even have 100 set. And if you just started getting out at the top of this, that'd be certainly the way to go. But what if you stand in front of this train and the robot you turn on for that, you'd be like, well, shit. some of these robots are going to get crushed. And some are going to even underfilled. If you have a robot that keeps launching a grid like this on top of a robot that's putting in fucking stacks and nodes and weird shit and just all this crazy fucking shit, that when it gets up here, if the 12-hour expirations, maybe it's just running 3 tickets, and it keeps posting them up higher and higher for crazy moves. They last for 8 hours. 8-hour robot. Or even a 4-hour robot, because that's a 1-hour chart. So even a 4-hour robot and a 2-hour robot, I mean, it's dropping, say every 2 hours it's dropping 2-hour expiration tickets in a cluster or in a linear grid, doesn't matter. It's the fact that all these robots combined, can they blow up the account? And are you going to manage them? Because they have no management built in for these bots. They're just things you let loose. Honey, go out and sell. What do I sell? Anything. All day long. Now, I want you to go out there and sell, and I don't give a fuck now if the robot does it. You turn that robot on. The sell bot, really. Let's laying grids up there. You got to have like a ton of robots that are doing unique things. So one of them's throwing in tickets that are outrageous. One of them's throwing in tickets that are probably going to get filled. 50% chance of getting filled, and some have a 25% chance of getting filled, but if they do fill, they're fucking amazingly quadruple your money. Because it means the market has stabbed into a zone so deep and so outrageous that instead of you making the decision, you've already made it in advance that you're going to buy anything super fucking high or super fucking low. And that is a term. I just did a comment about this interview, and I put fucking in there without the U, and I thought, well, the robot can't tell. I left the fucking. I should have taken out the. And they said there's community guidelines, and I thought, am I going to go to jail again? Fucking A. I don't want to get shot up. I mean, I don't want people to come to my house. But the decisions, you know, look at some of these perfect setups. You can't get better than, look at this one. You could cherry pick on this thing all day long. It's so funny because people sell courses and make so much money. I don't know if they're trying to be a do-gooder or they honestly think that they're helping people, but they'll say, well, I'll show you how my indicator works now once you get into the course here and you sign up with our membership of memberships. First, you got to be the first initial membership to see if your membership kind of like material. See if you'd be a good fit for our program that we have programmed for you next to do. You're not going to like this, but so you can trade with the trend. Like you could wait for these perfect setups. This top become a bottom here. This top become a bottom here. Got this nice wedge. It's a yellow. It's good to go, son. Just keep buying that fucker. Oh yeah. And then it rips into Asia and just keeps going north. You're like, I love this thing, man. You can't buy every pullback because then it comes back. And then here you buy this pullback. You go, dude, I love that robot you have now. I just bought your robot. And I got to tell you, I'm having a problem with the signals. Like, you told me to buy every pullback here. And so when I came home with my trusty robot that I spent so much money, because, you know, this setup worked perfect, right? I bought here so much. I told my wife, I said, honey, get ready to get rich. She said, what are you going to do now? What you got there? I got this robot. It's so fucking amazing. And you load the wagon here thinking, well, god damn it, even the trendline people are like, that. This is fucking going to paradise. And then, what was that about? But what if you had the other side going on? So you can have that trade. Sure, that's anybody could do that trade. But you have this trade going on. You're like, fuck those people, man. The fucking trend traders. Fuck them. And that's my position. It's like when I'm on this high-speed road and I'm thinking, okay, some of the road is actually pretty, you could probably do 140 miles an hour easily, but a lot of this stuff is rough, like the market. But occasionally there is that amazing, But this is just so funny because if I put my buy limits in here, like a big crop, it comes all the way back to here. And this guy just bought here because he's like, yeah, it's going up. Can't you see? Like, can't you just see? And he's right here. Like, so, no, wait, but this is just slightly turned color. And this would be the beginning of the giant move everybody's hoping for. That baby rips. Slight pause. I'll pull back on the half hour and the 15, I'm sure. And then climax. And then come in Asia here. And the, like I said, Asian session, if you put on a hedge bot here, he's making money with a good ratio. He's a winner that day, but the trend bot's a complete fuck up that day. So who wins this session from a breakout of Asia session? Here's a breakout of Asia, another breakout. You're in a hedge at the end of the day. You put on a hedge. You at the triangle. And you put really good ratios on it, and it explodes out, and you cash out of one leg, and you have tight stops here, you're getting stopped out here, but you're going to still make this much. And maybe at the same time, you've got sell limits above here. Now, this gets kind of complicated, but it's kind of hard to decipher, well, do we make money? Yeah, you just have to go with it. You just got to go with it, man. I think it's the only way to go. Just go with it. Whatever you feel in your gut to some extent. It's not that scientific because there's more money. For it to be unscientific, you just have to have you have to love the risk of it going against you. Right? It goes against you till you kind of make everybody realize that you're really out of your fucking mind when you say stuff about how you just love a good Nazi hamburger. Made out of Jews. You're like, I'd go for tonight. Thinking of Nazis, I really like one of those Nazi burgers that you, that special meat you bring out. Yeah, it is good. I tell you, we marinate that thing up with fucking, we use like a bunch of Old Testaments and shit. We use it to press it. We lay on that. It's cured with Old Testament. Some kind of Dead Sea Scrolls shit. We put some Dead Sea Scrolls on that shit. We just get it all tuned up. Just like you like it. They should be buying right here at this pullback. This is what you should be doing. Of course, I'd run tight stops now. Because if we break out to the downside tonight, yeah, that's possible. But the buyers be coming in here, right? You got to be a big buyer. Actually, here was a nice payoff. If you bought that little nick of the wick, you'd have to survive this other pullback, though. And that's the argument for saying, no, I'm not going to sell here like a trend trader. I'm not going to buy here. I'm just going to start selling here. I'm going to just be a swing trader because, fuck it. This is going to be a winner one day. Actually, it comes back to I think a lot of people are like, cashing out there, but finally comes down here. This is certainly where you get crushed, right? Like, what the fuck? What's that move about? That was pretty harsh. So breakout bots are successful. Now here's where breakout bot. Also, the system's designed to come in that the tighter the delta is, the bigger the position, because it means there's going to be a huge explosion. And this is pretty dramatic, but I don't think it even makes up the spread here. This looks like it's actually climbing in to the close. So really the breakout was just before. So here's a fake breakout. You have your hedge on. You have buy stops here maybe, sell stops here. Well, they trap you. And here's where this strategy is not going to work. Because they're going to chop you to bits. It's just a fucking wash of bullshit. The only people that can make money during this stuff is people that put sell limits in tight, buy limits in tight. That whole day is not even triggered enough volatility for most people. Some people are going to take the other side of high velocity moves. And some people are going to ride that. So the guy that's riding it is, if you had to be both people and switch back and forth, though, to really do it, to really make a lot of money. And you have to let the market has to go against you on some level. If you're going to scale in, the first trade could be a loser. Now you have to add to a loser. So that goes against everything you've ever been told. Like, who gets married to 5 bad wives and stays married to them, like those Mormons or something? Who does that? You have to do it here. Yeah, I got crazy 5 hoes that are out of their fucking mind. It's like, what am I going to do? I mean, they're annoying as hell. I'm tolerating it, but it's still annoying. I'll scalp her. So some of these girls are only good for scalping. Alright, she's still annoying me now. Yeah, it's cute until she, gosh, her clothes are so tight though. Yeah, these girls, babe, like dipped in fucking spandex, They have that new spandex dip. That Lululemon dip, I think it's made out of mesh spandex. Just what the doctor ordered. Yeah, that mesh spandex stuff. That's the new stuff. It's like a spacesuit. The HAL 9000 bang a girl. Bang a babe. When are they gonna drop ship that that new the girl that's got the real body temperature? Like, she gets all hot and bothered and she starts to slap you around a little bit. She's like throwing plates at you. She's like it starts to nag you like a real wife. It costs extra for that file. You can add it like that car where you can add high beams as you're driving down the road. Like, Siri, could you add bitchy mode to this? She's boring me now. Like, she's too polite. Have her try to poison me with some bad cookies. I want to see what the limits are. I did that when I had that card game. I said, let me drive into the wall continuously and see if they come and try to have me taken away for being what do they call it, radicalized by my game. I feel like crashing cars now. I did that one, what's it called, Grand Theft Auto, and I asked the kid I was with, I said, Ms. Tequila's son, actually, I said, can I try that? He says, can I try? What if I try to run the hooker over? He said, yeah, she's not going to like that. So she didn't. She kind of avoided me after that. So the game is very sensitive to like real life dynamics, I think, Like, we got a problem here. We got to put a little cream on that. some ointment. Yeah, it's going to leave a mark. That trade's going to leave a mark on your account. It seems like every trade you do is just a fucking train wreck. That's my self-talk. Because I do so many trades that there are some that are just like, yeah, I guess that's really going up. The selling idea is not working out. But I would say the same thing on the buy side. Is this plunging? I'm like, yeah, that really is plunging. That you got to trade super deep now, and that's when I whip out these big fat fucking 50 pip window tickets. Here, let me show what those look like. Let's drop some of that stuff here right now. Let's get the party started. I just can't keep goofing around all night. Not everything's a joke. Not everything's funny. Here's a 50 pip. This is a super lazy trade. This 80 pip stop to make 60. Semi-good probability of this being possible. And outlandish coverage. I would make that last at least 12 hours because this is the 1 hour chart. I'm dropping right here. Let's get the party started right here. It's practically at the market. I'm buying there and all the way down. So this is a real grid trade. I call that super grid trade in there, son. Now, let's put a few little slots in between those big swing trades. Let's load up some little baby scalpers. Let's just try to make 10 pips with the 18 pip stop starting right here. So here, this little guy here is going to be our bad ratio, high probability. Let's do another. Let's do a break even. $5 to make $5. Let's buy the next slot. 8 hours down. I'm feeling brave. I'm up with a 16 pip stop to make 12. This is a very high probability cash out, or medium probability cash out. Let's put this bottom rack. This would be a 12-hour ticket because I would never change this. It's only a 3K, by the way. We could put multiples. We could build up a nice, super deep entry window here. It's going to look better on the half hour. So the probability of fill for the visual here is going to be the half hour chart. Or the 15 looks a little noisy. You can see it. So the half hour's got, we can see back at least 5 days. I can zoom in and I could see us going down here. I'll put in a 6K starting at beyond the low. So it just came in with my entries and my exits. Now this is a ridiculous trade. I don't think that's ever going to make it down there in 8 hours. There's just no fucking way at this point. We're kind of trapped in the middle of the road here. High probability of it coming down to these double wicks, and then we'll take this in, hoping for the engulf. We're always hoping and praying. They say never hope. You have to hope on every trade. So you have to have faith and hope and all that stuff. I'd say just take all they say in the books and just invert it because it's completely ridiculous. You're always going to have to buy down here, and you're always going to have to sell up here. Let's do the sell side. Starting at this wick, I'm going to put all my sells in now. Now that's an outlandish trade. I don't think it's ever going to come up here and come back here, but it could because it's done it before. What is the chance that we could sell just above that with a 12 pip stop to make? Let's try to make sell here and make 10 pips. So we sell here and we're going to cash out here. We have a so right there, let's get in 8 hours. This looks doable. We come down here and then we rip back up. Come down here, rip back up. And then we just come back and check it in 8 hours and see, well, do we fill or not? And if we didn't fill, then we're going to put more of the trade on. And I would say 20% of the time, I think, is the golden ratio for selling at the market or buying at the market. Saying, you know what? It's been a half hour. Let's sell a couple ones in case the market really is stalling out. It really is going to reverse. Or we lay track right in front of the market. And now you're catching a falling knife that is really, it's a slow motion fall. And your tickets last for maybe 4 hours. Take a nap, come back. That looks like it's still going against me. All right. Yeah, let's stop me out. I'll wait another 8 hours. I'll buy super deep, and just before the news, maybe we'll be at some extreme price. I'll load the wagon there. And then I'll just trade it back to the other side. I'll make more money than I've ever made before. But these are just, if you're a swing trader, this is the lifestyle you have to have as a pretty, you know, it's you're not going to be in a winning position until the market starts to go your way, so to speak, and all your hoping and praying as the market has heard your hopes and prayers. And it's really a contest of patience, because also if you're in a winning trade, you know, the last few, there's a giant move and then the drift, and if you're going to wait, you know, for the thing to close out at the end of the day, it's kind of like, okay. it's kind of hard to get out when the market's spiking. If you're going to get out of the market with the predetermined exits, it's scaled out, and you don't have a big position. So there's a psychological difference between getting out of a giant position all at once that you accumulated, which makes a ton of money all at once, right? All those tickets, finally one day, market goes ripping and you cash out. At the end of the day, that's a lot of money, but that doesn't always happen. Or you're going to scale out as it comes at you. So right now I'm selling, the euro's going up, I'm selling into it tonight. And then looking for maybe a climax. They're just going to fall apart here and drift down. Either way, I'll take either approach. And the oil market has had its big rally, a big trap down here. All the buyers came in. Can we get above this? And now they've trapped the bulls that in this thing. But here's another reason why contrarians are going to make more money than most people, because they're going to buy every fucking everything below here, especially if it's blue. They buy all that blue and then they stop buying as soon as it goes up. Stop. Right, it's blue, blue, blue. As soon as it goes up, do not buy that rally. The trend traders say, wait for this pullback. It's a daily crude oil. So big buy there. And same on the sell side, you know. Sell, sell, sell. Cash out. Sell, sell. So here's a top become a bottom on the crude. Perfect setup, and then maybe drifts up here, but probably buyers come in there better. Here. Either way out of that, but yeah, the party might be over. We got to see how much. I think we're trapped sideways for quite some time. This is daily crude. I think we could be drifting into the end of the year. Maybe it's going to spill down. That's certainly my dream. And then we could go 180 miles an hour. And I can get that suspension I wanted to get. And those big tires, you know. I'd be like, okay, man, let's go. You and me. Let's see how fast we can blow by the state trooper. Let's really freak them out. Get a radio. Get one of those Apple things and turn on that fucking illegal shit. We'll talk to each other as we drive down the road. And I'll say to you, yep, coming up on this cop here. Let's light it up. Zoom by him. Flip him off. Right. Give him the old flip off. Okay, we're coming in at the market. We're selling this puppy right now because guess what? It just turned 10:43. I always sell at 10:43. Another part of my completely ridiculously overpriced mentorship. It's worth like, yeah, you got to send me all your Kanye West t-shirts that say I was on the tour. It's got all the tour dates. He's a big Kanye West fan. I hope you like Kanye West because his mentorship, you really have to like Kanye West, you know. Otherwise, it's just not, we don't want you in our mentorships program. Forget the inner circle, dude. This is the inner fucking octagon. This shit's fucking complicated. I mean, I don't even want to. I'm afraid to talk about it because of the abductions that have been happening. A lot of my students have been abducted by forex aficionados, people that are trying to make money. I don't like to talk about it much, you know, because we got investigators out tracking them. And you never know. You never know when they're going to sneak up on you, stop hunting you, taking you out. Those big fucking trades. You knew it was going up, didn't you? Oh, I knew it was going up. Sure, I thought it was going to pull back. Yeah, the 618 was sweet, but dude, that last 618 was rough. I think it went to like 7.500. It went way past my fib handle. My fibs were lying to me. I said, you bad fib. You a bad fib lying to me like that. making me take these trades. I thought I saw a Gartley the other day. Nope. Didn't work out either. I don't know what I'm going to do, man. I think it's going to be tragic. I really don't know what I'm going to do about any of these things. Okay, I'm selling. I'm currently short. It's going to be a long night. Oh, God. I don't know what to tell anybody. Yeah, the part of on page 528 of the manual number 6 of the outer octagon mentorship. People love that stuff. I bet probably do better by having some type of ritual for the trade. Like you have to trade with your mouse pointed to Mecca or something. And what happened to that beheading stuff? They used to behead people on the YouTube. Remember that? Oh, here's a beheading of a journalist trying to have his own thoughts. We don't like that around here. People in America are so spoiled. They just took those people out. They just had that printer malfunction. Can you say printer malfunction? And scanner problems, They're like, yeah, I don't know, it's crazy. This gear just don't work very good, I guess. I guess you're just shit out of luck. And everybody's like, yeah, I guess so. Not those people in Brazil. The people in Brazil like are fucking taking like a pitchfork to people's nuts and going, no. And then we're so spoiled here. We just like, yeah, I don't know. Kind of want to drive fast in my car. I saw this high-end car out here today. Hey, what the fuck is that, man? I thought it was some hybrid, like European car, but it turns out it's a Corvette. It's like a 2025 Corvette. Hi, fucking beautiful looking thing, But the exhaust is stacked right over the rear tires. I don't know if that's the latest design, but it looked like crazy to me. I'm like, isn't it going to catch the tires on fire a little bit if you light them up? It don't look safe at all. It's got four ports, so two on each side, just behind the tire. I'm like, that's kind of cheesy. It looks like the Batmobile in a sun. It has the cheesiest taillights on it. It looks trying to look like some kind of serpent, some kind of crazy shark fish. People go over the top of this shit. How about just put some classic circle lights, like the old Corvettes. Remember the old Corvettes? I certainly do. Fiberglass goddamn thing, I think. I goddamn fucking engineering on that shit. Color's all red. Little Red Corvette? Yeah, that's that Prince song, man. Prince owes Chevrolet some fucking reparations. I'm going to tell you that right now. Anybody knows copyright people are lost their minds too. I'm still getting these copyright things from fucking shit I posted like fucking 6 years ago. Hey, you got a copyright, but don't worry about it. Oh God, you finally got to my video I did 8 years ago. Bless your heart, you really fucking do like me. But it's just a robot. Well, a robot scanned for it, and then some human maybe looked at it and said, yep, looks like we got a speeding ticket here. Yeah, you've been driving fast on the copyright. I mean, too much copyright publishing for you. Now they run ads on that. So I don't make the money on that one. So I guess what they're doing is just adding advertisements to all my old videos. I can't say I didn't know. They email me these things all the time. I always feel like I'm about to go to YouTube jail, like have a real fucking digital handcuffs and everything. I'd be like, son, you ever been in a digital jail? You're not going to like it at all. It'd be like Lawnmower Man, trapped in the wires. It's like Lawnmower Man. I just can't get out of this wire system. Okay, so I'm going to go watch this movie. I'm running against the wind tonight. I'm selling into the last gas rally of the euro. Fuck these Europeans already. Enough of that crazy talk. This, that, the other thing. Yeah, right. We tried it your way. And now look at my account now, going against these trends here, selling into the top tick Tommies. Sell, sell, sell. Let's get in front of this train. Come on. Fuck these people. Fuck this shit. I'm selling all the way to fucking top. I'm probably gonna rip this up tonight. Let's go. Come on. I'm ready for you. All right, man. I gotta go get a second mortgage here. I'm selling into this all night long. Slightly short. Getting shorter every minute. Let's put these big fucking 30 pip winners in here. We gotta go up, trap them, and then rip it back into Europe. So we gotta rally into Europe, get trapped up at the top, and then come down, and the target is gonna be where we are now and above, if not more. So selling at the market here, every price pulse up on the half hour as into the top of the hour here, selling, but selling at the limits and selling at the market. Building a huge position above the high of the previous day. This is the Contrarian entry swing trade. Feel free to put your orders way the fuck up there, just in case there's one last spike. You need to get into that. That's a lot of money there. Good ratios too, because you come off that top. Your first target's going to be right here. I don't know if you'll make it this to take out this low. So either we're going to drift up to here, stall out, and then go dang. We're going to weasel up here, take this out, come back to here. A couple scenarios. I prefer to never take out this high, stalls out, and then it's down. So it's still in blue mode. Let's see other considerations. Still in blue mode. Just turning yellow. Wait, let me delete these objects because I can't tell what color that is behind all that stuff. Alright, let me go down to the delete all objects, please. I try to put tons of, there's never enough of those in there. Got them the same script all over the fucking place. That's pretty fair. So it looks like they're going to try to take out the high, and if they do, I'm going to sell into that. It's going to be a rough ride to the north because we're going into uncharted waters. If you look back on the monthlies, so the only danger here is that, look at this. It's just, there's no resistance until here. And this is a very high price. This top is miles away. And this top, you've already gone through it. So now, here's the danger. So if you don't look at the weeklies, you can't see the danger in this trade. And on the daily, you're like, okay, yeah, I guess so. On the daily, you're thinking, yeah, but, you know, if they crush up here, you are going to be hitting right into that. The actual target is up way the fuck up there. When you go to the 4 hour, you're like, yep, that's a buy. Here's the trend traders buying into the cloud on the 4 hour. And I'm going to go against them. Against the wind. And mighty big position against the wind, too. So I'm in a tiny position now. And I'm going to go super into super if need be. If need be, son, I will get out the big guns and I will sell so fucking hard. You ain't even gonna know it. You can't believe how big I'm gonna sell into that. Finally, get a big. It's gonna take some time. I'm willing to invest that time. So the 1 hour has turned blue a little bit, and this is the exact same trade that you would go into the. Jump right to the other time frame. Time frame matters as far as us waiting. How long can we wait? It's a 4 hour. We zoom in. 15-minute chart. Here's the buy on the 15. Is once they trapped everybody here, and this is like right, this is a real low. Of course, that spread probably got wide there, so. But once you can get back above it, I prefer to buy the retest on this on the 15-minute chart. And now it's cutting north. And the seller should start coming in anything above this high, this window, and then certainly above. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to sell on the way to the edge of the abyss, and I will sell into the abyss for that much all night long. And I'm slightly short with my own real money now, but in this account, I am not short. I'm short from previously at a small position. This top, as soon as we close up there, and on the way to that, I'm short on all this rally. So my original short was cashed out here. When it came all the way back, it just came back 50 pips, so I just got out. You know, it was up 50, 40 pips, so didn't buy this pullback. At that point, I just wanted to go short. After that, I was like, well, let's just fucking do that again. That was too much fun. So then I little scalp here. Now I want to do it again one more time. This time, I'm just going to put it way the fuck up there, way beyond the trees. Jack and the Beanstalk area. Way up there. And that's all there is to it. And watching these videos of these girls getting pulled over and giving a drunk driving test. Honey, we think you've been drinking. How much you been drink tonight? She can't speak. It's just incredible. I feel so much smarter. It's a Jerry Springer world. I just have to, accept it. Look at this 15-minute chart. This is what people say. Does it work on the 15-minute chart? Yeah. Are you going to babysit this entry? Could you imagine this? I'm waiting for this pullback right here in the 15. I pulled the trigger. You were there for that trade. You better buy a big position there, I can tell you. Now, here's a failure. Buy this bought right here, right where you said with the trend traders. Oh, yeah, I know. I forgot to tell you about this. First scalp, then heavy. Don't forget who's going against you on this one. All the contrarians sell, sell, sell. And, of course, when they see the blue, they buy, buy, buy. A 15-minute chart. So it's blue, 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 buy, buy, buy. As soon as it goes yellow, I'm sell, sell, sell. So I'd sell that. Sell, sell, sell. Don't make much money here. Here I make good money. We sell, 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 and then we make the money. And that's a pretty decent time frame. That's a 15 screaming up. I guess this is not. And of course, if you're buying every blue bar, you only get 2 entries here, where you get 3 here. You get. You actually put bigger positions on if you go against. So if every time it goes up, you sell, 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 sell a lot, and then cash out. Sell, 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 cash out. This is probably the winningest trade, is to be a contrarian. Or be a structured trader and say, I only put my sell limits right up here, but no fill, right? Not yet. We got to get one more rally going tonight. So we're actually hoping that it fails at some point. Like, how much more can this thing go up? The big picture is like, wow, we are up crazy. Now it looks like a sell. But when you zoom out, for me, when I zoom out, I'm like, shit, that thing could just keep on going. That's fucking nuts. But you remember how bearish it was. Nobody wanted to touch it. It's blue, 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 and now we're all the way back to this bottom on the monthly. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. And I don't know after this, so we sell. Maybe collapses. It's kind of stuck up here. I think it's going to be very quiet into the end of the week, and then God knows, man. Here's the monthly chart. Next year is going to come to an end. I think it's just going to be pretty calm after this. That is a hard move down, a hard move up. Probably the biggest moves I've seen in a long time. I mean, look at this move. This is a monster, isn't it? If that's not the most monster sell-off I've ever seen, Jesus, what is, right? These two are monsters. Two monsters up, two monsters down, and once again, it's part of my mentorship. You have to accept that 80% of the market, 2 months of bullshit, 1 month of glory. 1 month of glory, 2 months of bullshit. I guess you could make this argument this is a good downtrend. 1 month of glory and one month of glory. And another month of glory, so there is no rule that it has to go after 2 months of glory. That it has to do this. But now it really could just be garbage here, garbage everywhere, and maybe eventually back to here, and then you end up with this giant garbage zone, pure garbage, and then it's only one move and pure garbage. So this is the 80-20 rule, is that there's no denying that that is the biggest fucking move on the chart. Right? There's no denying that this here is hyper crazy. Then it's garbage, and I'm going to call garbage on all this shit. Because these moves aren't as big as that. Not even this one's as big as... Oh, that's... Okay, so the 20, 80, 20. This is the biggest down move. It is the biggest down move. So we go inside the smaller time frames here and build trade plans that are very tight. And they're high frequency trades. Because you're getting in and out, in and out. This is the monthly chart, by the way. So you're like in and out, and then some of these, you're just, who doesn't want to be on one of these trains, you know? Oh shit, I got filled right here, one short. Yeah, Jake said it was going to beat you. As soon as it goes blue on a month, we just keep selling. Man, we made so much money, and then until this day, you sold, got kicked your ass, sold, and they kicked your ass. All right, so if you got in the early train, that's the way. Get on the early train. That's my pro tip of the day. Get on the early train. All my sketch the cheese. Yeah, this is going to be a boring, drifty night. Trying to make 40 pips here on the collapse of the euro. 40 pips down. Cash out. I'm glad we got to sell this rally. Yep, I knew if I hoped and prayed long enough, and that's why I believe in Jesus. Yes, he was resurrected. How's that working? I went down there and saw it. Then, like, he broke out of the stone. He really broke the stone. Oh, jeez, what a rough guy. Yeah, long-haired hippie guy. Yeah, we got to look back 20. It was this 2020. What year is this? 2022. It's coming to an end. 2023 is coming up. It's odd years coming up. What are we going to do? Oh, my God. Gold took a leap, finally. But put a fork in it. It's right at the line of scrimmage again. Yep. There you go. I cash out all my gold right now. I'm flat on that trade. So a big buy down here. Buy the blue, sell the yellow. You're out. You're done. That trade's over. All right, well, back to the movie show. Take a nap. Wake up. Do it again. Wait for Europe to open. Should be some crazy prices coming into that. Looking for a huge sell-off into the European Open, or at least into the news. Hopefully 50 to 60 pips down. In that case, we start coming into the big jobs report bullshit. And of course, how many people are happy with their life, you know? It depends where you're at, really. Some people are probably happy regardless of what the headlines say. So yeah, just stay away from that. Stay away from that really cheesy, completely ridiculous, iconic figures out there. And just try to have your own tolerance for trade frequency, position size, and don't kick your dog. Really, don't kick, and don't try to beat the train either. I'm hearing these ads on the radio, how you shouldn't try to beat the train, but I'm thinking, yeah, that's good advice. Because what if your car stalls out? You know, if it gets all squirrely on you, that's never a good thing. Can't have that. All right, so it's going to be another drifty Asian session, looking for that drama to kick in. North or south, I'd take either direction.